I slept with my husband's boss. And now I don't know who the father of my baby is. I never thought I'd be that woman. The one who gets caught up in a mess so tangled, so damn shameful, that it keeps her up at night praying it's all just a bad dream. But here I am. Let me start from the top. My husband, Daniel, has always been the ambitious type. Always chasing promotions, staying late at work, doing everything to secure our future, even if that meant emotionally abandoning me in the process. For months, it felt like I was invisible. Just a house fixture, part of the furniture. Then came Mr. Charles. Suave, charming, way older, but sharp. He came over once for dinner, and I noticed how he looked at me. Not like Daniel, who barely noticed if I changed my hair or wore something sexy. No, Charles noticed everything. At first, it was harmless. Text. Flirty comments. I told myself I'd never cross that line. Until that night Daniel came home reeking of alcohol and barely mumbled, "Happy anniversary," before passing out. I was done. Angry. Hurt. Vulnerable. The next day, I met up with Charles. One thing led to another, and yeah. I swore it would be a one-time thing. It wasn't. It became a secret world I escaped into, where I felt seen and wanted. Now, I'm 8 weeks pregnant. Daniel is over the moon. He thinks this is the miracle we've been waiting for. But I'm stuck between two truths. I want this baby. I have no idea who the father is. And the worst part. Charles doesn't seem too bothered. He just told me, whatever happens, I'll take care of it. But what does that even mean? I don't know if I want advice. I just needed to say it out loud somewhere. Somewhere people won't fake smile at me or judge me behind polite eyes. So here it is. I slept with my husband's boss. And now, everything might blow up. He offered me money to keep quiet. I didn't say no. The morning sickness kicked in hard just like reality did. Daniel kept bringing me breakfast in bed, kissing my forehead, whispering things like, "You're going to be the best mom." And all I could do was smile and choke down the guilt with my toast. Then Charles called. "Meet me at the Marriott. Room 712. No hello. No warmth. Just a command. Like always. I told Daniel I was going for a prenatal checkup. He handed me a wad of cash and told me to get something nice afterward. I almost cried. When I got to the hotel, Charles didn't even pretend to be apologetic. "I've had a vasectomy," he said, sipping his scotch. I blinked. "What?" He repeated it. "Vasectomy. 5 years ago. No reversal. Which means this baby can't be his. Unless he was lying." But then he pulled out a small black envelope. Inside. Stacks of crisp bills. More than I'd seen in one place in my entire life. "Just say it's Daniel's. That's the truth anyway, isn't it? Let's not complicate things. You'll never hear from me again after today unless you need something." I stared at the money. I should have thrown it in his face. But I didn't. I took it. And now I'm lying to everyone. Daniel. My family. Myself. But that night, as I watched Daniel rub my belly and talk to our baby, I realized something that terrified me more than anything else. I think I want Charles to be the father. I kept hearing Charles's voice in my head for days. The truth weighed heavily on me as I lay next to Daniel, my head on his chest, pretending everything was fine. I could hear the soft rhythm of his heart, steady and reassuring, but it didn't match the chaos brewing inside me. The guilt. The fear. The doubt. I thought about what Charles had said, that I should just say the baby was Daniel's. That's what everyone expected, wasn't it? The loyal wife, the doting mother, the picture-perfect family. No one would ever know the truth. It would all be so easy to bury, to hide behind a smile and a lie. But then I thought about Charles again. How could I not? The man who made me feel seen, heard, wanted. He wasn't just some affair. He was someone who had shaken me to my core, made me question everything I thought I knew about myself. When Charles told me he had a vasectomy, it was as if a door had been opened in my mind, one I wasn't sure I could close again. The idea that he could never be the father. It didn't sit well with me, yet it planted a seed. Was I really willing to lie for a man who didn't even care enough to apologize for what we'd done? And yet, here I was, clutching the money he'd given me, feeling the weight of my choices pressing down on me. I didn't know if I was a terrible person for accepting it, or if I was just too desperate to hold on to the life I'd built with Daniel. That night, as Daniel kissed me goodnight and pulled me close, I found myself thinking about how easy it would be to fall into this role, to keep pretending. I could live the rest of my life with Daniel and never have to face the truth. I could ignore the nagging feeling in the back of my mind, push aside the guilt, and just live. But I couldn't shake the feeling that it wouldn't be enough. That something was missing. The next few days were a blur of emotions. I spent my time in denial, going through the motions, making dinner, attending doctor's appointments, playing the role of the doting wife. But every time I looked at Daniel, I felt a crack deep inside me, one I couldn't ignore. I thought about the baby growing inside me. Was I doing the right thing? Was I betraying Daniel in a way I couldn't come back from? And what if Charles was right? What if this was all just a temporary fix, a way to numb the pain I felt from all the choices I had made? One night, after Daniel had fallen asleep, I sat in the living room, staring at the black envelope Charles had given me. The money was still there, untouched. I ran my fingers over the crisp bills, my heart racing. This wasn't just about money. It wasn't even about the affair anymore. This was about the lie I was living, the secret I was keeping, and the consequences of everything that had happened. I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know if I could keep living this double life. But one thing was certain, I had to make a choice. And it was the hardest decision I'd ever face. I sat there in the silence of the room, the weight of everything pressing down on me. The ticking of the clock was deafening, like a countdown to the inevitable. The choice was mine now. I could keep living this lie, burying the truth deeper and deeper, pretending everything was fine, pretending I was the woman I used to be, the woman everyone thought I was. But every time I looked at Daniel, that perfect image I tried to maintain shattered in front of me. I couldn't hide from the truth forever. I ran my fingers over the envelope one last time. The money felt like it was burning a hole in my palm. It had been my escape, my way of holding on to something. But now, I realized it was just another chain, keeping me locked in this lie. I stood up, walking to the window and staring out into the night. The city lights twinkled in the distance, so far away from the mess I had made. The cold air from the open window felt like a slap to my face, and for a brief moment, I thought I might wake up from this nightmare. But the truth was there, staring at me, unavoidable. I had to face it. In the morning, I would have to tell Daniel. I didn't know how. I didn't know if I could ever make him understand. But I knew I couldn't keep living this way. So, I made the hardest decision of my life. I chose the truth. And with that, I closed my eyes, preparing myself for what was to come. As I lay there, the weight of my decision heavy on my chest, I couldn't help but wonder, what would you do in my shoes? Do you think I should tell Daniel the truth, or would it be better to keep pretending, to bury the lie and protect him from the pain? Would honesty really set things right, or is some truth too dangerous to expose? What do you think?